Welcome to video 6 of 6, How Do I Podcast? This is Paul Colligan, and I'm thrilled to be here. Now, the truth. Billions of dollars have been made in making things more complicated than they need to be. This isn't a tech issue. This is just an issue of capitalism. People love to add steps in the process for things because by adding steps in the process for things, they can see a revenue stream. And this isn't just unique to podcasting. This is something we see absolutely everywhere. But something I want you to think about is as you compare what we say about the production of a podcast versus what a lot of other people are saying. And admit it, those who get anything done effectively are a rare breed indeed. It seems like every day we go through life with a lot of extra steps that simply don't need to be there. I'll tell you this, having studied podcasting for the last 14 months, I will tell you that thousands and thousands and thousands of hours have been wasted in the podosphere running through things and working on issues that you simply don't need to be working on and worrying about if you plan things properly. Warning, this is not, as you can probably tell, what you usually hear about podcasting. This is not what the popular, inexpensive ebooks and articles and magazines and presentations to Chamber of Commerce is like to tell you about the whole process. My whole career, I've made all my revenue on removing the geek elements so that we can get the job done and move on to what is important. And I hope we've done that here in podcasting. I hope you'll see that in this last slide, that it's just not as complicated as some people like to make it out to be. The process is really 3 steps. Number 1, you have to create your podcast, and this is audio or video. Number 2 is you've got to publish your podcast. You've got to get it out there so that the world can see it. And then number 3, you got to market the thing. And that's it. There's not much more. Let's take a look at each one of these on their own slide. Create. Audio and video creation. This works for whatever you're shooting down the podcast pipe that is at least media. Start with the highest possible quality file. A lot of people have spent a lot of time thrilled with MP3 and how small the files are, and Skype recordings and how cheap, long distance can be if you run it through a computer and all sorts of things. But what happens is that starts with very low quality audio or video. And then as that gets edited, as that gets mixed up, the quality gets worse and worse. What you want to do is you want to start with the highest possible quality audio or video. And you want to edit in the highest possible quality audio or video. It takes a little bit longer on the computer, takes a little bit more hard drive space, but then as the last step, and as the last step only, you can press for podcasting. This will allow you to create the best possible audio or video file for your podcasting, and you've got to use this process when you create. Now, bonus tip, there are a lot of people, for lack of a better term, starving, sound and video engineers who would love to do this video and audio work for you. So if that isn't your forte, if this isn't what you enjoy, you really might want to consider handing that over to somebody else and getting on to the important part, which is, of course, step 3 of the process. Step 2 is publish. This is one of the elements in podcasting where people love to spend a lot of time and a lot of effort, and it just doesn't need to be this complicated. Publishing is really a couple of steps. You got to get it online, and that needs to be easy. You need to click a button, and you need to shoot your podcast up online. Anything else is a waste of time. It isn't something you want to do, and a lot of systems now are making that possible. Basically, you want to click a button, you want to get it online. The second issue is RSS, and RSS is the language of podcasting. It's a computer language that one computer system, tells to another computer system so they know what file to play. It's computer to computer speak. And the funny thing is, being computer to computer speak, there are a lot of people who feel that you want to write this RSS code yourself. You want to spend your time developing this. This is absolutely silly. If you're a tech person, you know this. If you're not, printers, the thing you print off stuff to from your computer, they have their own language called PostScript. And we don't send PostScript files to the printer. We have computer programs that Microsoft Word, Notepad, OpenOffice, anything that sends anything to the printer writes the PostScript automatically. And the same thing should be happening with RSS. Get it online with a click of a button. Get your RSS written automatically. And the whole publishing process, once you have a system in place, it should be almost automatic. It should be a few clicks of the button. Publishing should not be complicated. And unfortunately for too many people, it is. Now let's talk about the marketing process. There really are just 3 elements in podcast marketing, and that's it. Number 1, you got to be found if they're looking for you. You saw that where people look for you. I mean, if somebody looks up your name in iTunes and you're not listed there, you're not going to be found, or podcast.yahoo.com or different websites. You want to make sure in your marketing that you can be found if they're looking for you. This is basically a one-time effort in the world of podcasting. It's not that complicated. Make it easy once they've found you. Once they've gotten to your website, you want to make it very easy for them to subscribe and or listen to what it is that you've got. You want to make that incredibly easy. Again, if you develop that from the beginning, it's not that complicated. And then the last part in podcast marketing, and this is the important part that most people forget, is that you got to let your audience know what you're doing. And now that you bring people in, and now that you've got an existing audience who possibly didn't know that you were podcasting, make sure that people know what you've got. Make sure people know that it's accessible. Make sure people know how to use it and consume it and listen to it. 3 elements. Be found if they're looking for you. Make it easy once they found you. And then let your audience know what you're doing. Very, very important. Now, Paul, is that it? Yeah. I mean, that's it for the 5-minute overview. Obviously, there's more to the create, publish, and market element to all this. But, this would go a little while if we were to get all this out. But the podcasting process should be, and is for a few people, very, very simple. And I recommend you take that same approach. Create it, quick and easy, work high quality, go low quality only at the end, publish it with a couple of clicks of the button, and then market it. Make sure that they can find you and make sure that they can consume. That's your job. What you want to do is you don't want to focus your efforts on editing, publishing, RSS creation, these issues. That's silly. You as a podcaster, you want to focus and spend your time on content production. That's exactly where you want to be. Any time spent on anything else is probably a waste of time. And you want to focus your efforts on marketing you, not your podcast. People listen to you, not your podcast. People want to know about you, not your podcast. And everybody spends a lot of time marketing their podcast when the fact of the matter is they should be marketing themselves. And there's a focus, there's an emphasis on podcasting that just doesn't need to be there once you understand that your efforts should be content production, not editing, publishing, etc. And should be on marketing you, not your podcast. But is that it? Yeah, really, that's it. So, what's the next video in the series, Paul? Well, actually, that's it. You now know the who, what, when, where, why, and how of podcasting. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've got a different view of what's happening out there on the internet, and hopefully you understand that this world isn't as complicated as others have tried to make it. And basically, if you are interested, take a look at www.123podcastlaunch.com. It's a complete professional home study course that we've put together that explains everything you need to know about launching your own podcast using these 3 simple steps. I won't give you too much of a commercial here. If you want more information, you can head out to www.123podcastlaunch.com. But it's comprehensive, and it's what you need if you're serious about this industry. So thank you for enjoying the who, what, when, where, why, and how of podcasting. I hope one day I'll be listening to your podcast. Have a great one, everybody. Bye.